Hi, welcome to Diamond Custom Paint Shop. In this quick video, I'll show you how I went from hours of cutting and buffing to just minutes to cut and buff parts. In the past, it would take me a few hours to do a tank and fenders by the time I cut with sandpaper and then buffed it out. With the 3 easy steps that I do now, I can get that down to just minutes per part, and I'm talking about motorcycle parts, not cars or anything like that. So there's 3 steps that I use now. The first one is getting this Limeline 2K clear coat. It's a acrylic urethane. Now this is the newer formula that just came out about a month ago. The old formula was pretty good, but this stuff is way better. I feel like it lays down really smooth on your final coat. That really helps out with this process. The second thing that I do is my spray method. Now I'm going to show a video here after this of how I spray the fender. And one thing I want you to note is my distance and my speed from the fender. Those are 2 critical parts. You'll notice that my speed is quite fast and my distance is quite close. I just do it so my fan pattern at its optimum is hitting the fender. So you'll see it's only a few inches away from the fender. But when you do that, you have to move a lot faster than if you were farther away. And just to note, my booth temperature in the video was about 72 degrees, and my flash time in between coats was about 12 minutes, just to give you an idea of what the conditions were like when I sprayed. So that gave me this final. Now this is the final result right here of just the clear coat. As you can see, it's really glassy and smooth. So there's probably really not a whole bunch of orange peel in there. And then the third thing that I did was I went ahead and picked up one of these mini buffers. I got this one from Harbor Freight, and it's a Hercules. I know Milwaukee sells them too. You can get from Home Depot. They're pretty much the same thing. They actually almost look identical, so they're probably made in the same factory actually. But yeah, this little guy is a little powerhouse. And this really sped things up for me too, is using this here. The other thing I use is the CSI ceramics polish. And I use that all the way through from my wool pad all the way to my polishing compound. It's a kind of overall one, and this works wonders. And I'm going to start out with 2,000 grit wet sand. And I'm going to go to 3,000 grit wet sand. And then I have a 5,000 grit sanding sponge I'll probably do after the 3,000. And then I'm going to move into my wool pad. Then I'm going to do the yellow sponge. And then the final will be the black sponge to give us that nice, shiny, smooth glass look at the end. So yeah, so stay tuned. I'll kind of walk you through the process of cutting and buffing this. Like I said, we're going to start out with that 2,000 grit. And then first I'm going to show you the video of me spraying and just note the speed and the distance I am from it. And we'll be right back, and we'll be starting to sand this down with 2,000 grit wet sand. Okay, the first thing I always do before I even start sanding, I'll get some glass cleaner and a microfiber towel, and I'll clean it off really good. Make sure there's no sand or dirt on top of there before you even start gouging in. Okay, well, there you go. There's cutting and buffing in minutes rather than hours. If you see, it took about 31 minutes from the time I started recording this segment until I finished with the polishing of this fender here. Since I was recording, it took me a little bit longer than it normally probably would if I just got after it without recording. When you're recording, you're at funny angles and stuff, you know, to make sure everything looks good, so it takes a little bit longer. So realistically, it probably would have took, I don't know, 25 minutes, you know, to really get after it and knock this thing out. So if you're doing 2 tanks and a fender, you're talking probably an hour and a half max, which is not too bad. Consider it was taking me anyways, you know, 2 to 3 hours to do that same process. So some key things to take away from this video, that's key. The first thing is that acrylic Limeline 2K clear coat, the newer version, because that's the base that you're going to be working off of. And that stuff lays down so smooth. As you can see, we hardly had any orange peel to sand off there. We were able to do it with 2000 grit with just a few passes. So that's really nice to have that as your base. So the second thing is when you're spraying your clear coat, that's the way it works for me. How I was, you know, kind of closer and faster, and that gives me the results that I got. So give that a try and see if that works for you. If it does, awesome. So, and then the third thing is the Hercules little buffer. That thing makes quick work of these little fenders and stuff. So yeah, as you can see, if you look at it, I don't see, if I look close at it at angles, I don't see any scratches or anything in the fender from the sandpaper. I may see a couple of tiny ones along the edge there, but black is the hardest one to really not get any. Maybe when I get out in the sunlight, I might see some, but under these lights, it looks pretty dang good, nice and like glass. I don't see any major scratches. So yeah, so give this technique a try and see if it works for you. I hope it does, because it's really helped me out be more efficient and faster. Because that's the last thing you want to do, is be spending all your time after you're done is, you know, cutting and buffing before you give it to the customer. So anything, if you guys have anything that you think I could do that makes me faster, I'm always up for it. So yeah, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. And like always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comments section. I'll get back to you. And like always, I'll see you on the next one.